Well, I'll start off by saying this. Do not blame that game on the defense, okay? I don't care who you play, whether it's a high school team, a junior college team, a college team, much less an NFL team. When you turn the ball over 5 times, 4 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, 3 others in field position to set up touchdowns, you ain't gonna beat anybody I just talked about. Anybody. All right? And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game. In my opinion, that sucked. What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
The facts! Facts! That is the cruel reality of some of the members of our league, our Space Cadets, who are cleared for takeoff 1 week closer than last week. Welcome in. It's the Trash Bag. Not going to lie to you, I got absolutely just tortured this week. I'm going out of town this weekend. Yesterday, Monday and Tuesday for that matter, my camp was focused on allocating my time that I should have been using at work to trying to trade. And I'm not going to lie to you, so I didn't have time to prepare a show, but I do want to try to give at least some form of content every single week since I don't have any help from the members of this league. Grayson. Moving on. I don't know where we get off thinking he's going to do a podcast. He can't even send a text. So boom. This is going to be an ad-lib 100% while I'm driving in the dark, traffic jam induced ad-lib show straight off the dome. Hopefully I'll be dropping some bombs on y'all, letting y'all know what's going on. No Ted Kaczynski on dropping bombs on people. This is going to be the playoff primer show. It's going to be a week delving into week 12 a little bit, and we're going to see really kind of get an idea of the way how it's planning out, the playoff situation. And actually, Scoggins and Calder, I commend them. They made trades. They both won. They're not out. They're not out. And then if anything, they're going to be last, right? I mean, we're at, let's see, 6 games back of the total. I don't know if a percentage is, here it is. Calder is going to be 4% and Scoggins is going to be 2%. And then the next one, it jumps up to Skeet at 24. 25 will be Cheese. And then there's a giant gap again with Evan at 58. So Evan's kind of a toss-up. The app kind of says Evan probably has the best chance, considering his record is 5-6. Clay is 6-5. We've got 3 7-4s, and inexplicably a Gary at 9-2. So realistically, we're talking realism here. Scoggins and Calder are more than likely going to be the first members of the SS Space Quest. We're probably going to put them on the Challenger Cheese at 3 and 8. So you have to. There's week 12, 13, and 14. You have to win out if you're them. You can't lose to get to 6 and 8. 6 and 8, I think, is a realistic possibility to make the playoffs. And then at that point, you need to jump. Evan and Skeet and Cheese don't even matter if you're Calder and Scoggins, right? You want them to lose, but it's not imperative. What you really need to happen is Evan to kind of bring things back down a little bit. You want Evan to get to that 7-loss threshold with Cheese and Skeet, and then our Zacks want to get to 4 and 8, stay at 8. If that happens, Calder, Scoggins winning, Evan, Cheese, Skeet losing, we got a ball game. Now, let's go to the scoreboard. Let's go to the schedule. Is that possible, you ask? Absolutely. The only hiccup that's going to happen, the Cheese and Skeet battle, it's a big one. It's one of the biggest matches of the year. Whoever loses that game, if the Zacks are able to win, you want the loser of that one to sell out and keep losing, right? At that point, if Skeet wins, for example, puts him at 5 and 7. He's, he's still reasonably, and he's still, you can jump him, but you want the person that loses between Skeet and Cheese to lose out, essentially. Because if they lose, that means the other person wins. They jump a game, but then you want the person that loses betwixt the two of them to kind of fall back with the plebeians of the world. So then, boom. This is ugly. This is ugly. If Calder's able to beat Gary, we've got a ball game. Because then Gary comes back down to earth with his subpar roster, and it really mixes up the bye situation. And then you have golly, I mean, the people that are at the bottom are battling kind of the big dogs here. You got Evan going with Alex. That's disgusting. Alex will be, looking to maintain the bye there. Gary is looking to put the nail in Calder's coffin. Simple as that. If Calder's able to beat Gary, it really brings order to this league. Really lets the bye situation stay intact. If Galt, myself, or Alex were to lose, it kind of keeps that number 1 seed viable. A viable option. If Gary wins and he's got, I think he's 2 games out, he would have to lose out and not score many points to lose the bye. So really, it's possible for Gary not to get the bye, but it's getting really close to being like bye locked up kind of stuff. Calder is able to beat him, we got a ball game. It would bring Gary's chances of keeping that bye back down to earth, and then Calder will, to stay on earth, will still be intact. Then you have, like I said, Alex and Evan. A member of the trash bag, I'm Team Evan. Nothing personal against Alex. It just it would help my camp to kind of ruffle up the top a little bit if Evan were to win. And if Evan were to win, I think it really, really helps his chances. Because then hopefully I win. That's the goal. I would beat Clay. Hopefully, that's obviously the goal for anybody's week. Bringing me to 8-4, Clay to 6-6, and if Evan were to win, that's also 6-6. So you would have a 6-6, 6-6, and then obviously if Calder were to win, you have a Gary, you have a Calder at 4-8, and then Scoggins, and all this is predicated on the Zacks winning, right? It's very important that losing really isn't an option anymore, and both of them made moves to try to avoid that, which I commend. But yeah, you got Zach's in a must-win. Evan, I don't think it's must-win, but it would be nice. Clay is far from must-win. Me, Alex, Galt, it's obviously not a must-win for playoffs, but it's, you trying to keep up with that second bye spot, because as it stands right now, realistically, me, Galt, and Alex are probably battling for that second bye, which is just disgusting considering the prolonged ineptitude of Gary's camp. Yeah, I mean, you got that, and then jumping into week 13, you got Skeet taking on the trash bag, and then you have Scoggins and Alex, and then Calder and Galt. Calder is just getting slammed on a table, beat steady pace, because I mean that is not the way you want to end the season. I think he beat Skeet, who's borderline, but then he'll have to play Alex, he'll have to play Galt, and then week then he has Scoggins. But week 14, a loser between Scoggins and Calder, you're gone. See ya. Blastoff. Got a blast. And yeah, so then week 13, you going back to week 13, so it'll be next week, considering if everything plays out how I said. You have this is good. This is good. Evan and Clay, 6-5, 5-6 as it stands. Even if one wins and the other loses this week, let's just say Clay wins and Evan loses, Evan beating Clay brings it right back to where it is right now, back to playoffs. So Evan is not in terrible shape, and then you have Gary getting a round off the week with Cheese. So Gary, I just don't see a situation. I mean, he's got Calder, Cheese, and then he's got me. So, whatever. I hope fully to take advantage of that man. No Diddy. Week 14, but yeah, I mean that's sort of it. It just kind of breaking down where we're at a little bit. But I do want to make a special announcement. Let's see.
Start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of the space shuttle.
And liftoff. The space shuttle has left the station. We do not know, I repeat, do not know who is aboard said commandeer, who's commandeering this vessel. We do not know yet. As it stands right now, the likely scenario, Cheese, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. I just think Cheese is probably going to be on it. I don't think his roster is great. He's got a bunch of injury-prone players. He doesn't have a super-duper fun schedule. So, like, realistically, okay, so if the Zacks, even if they can't win out, right? They can't. It's not possible. So, based on the schedule, I mean, just based off strength of schedule, call no college football playoff committee on basing things off strength of schedule, but then ignoring quality losses. Calder has Gary, Scoggins has Matt. Neither of those matchups are great for them. The next week, Scoggins has Alex, but that's not great. And then Calder has Matt. It's not great. It's just not great. And then they play each other. Realistically, one of them will probably drop one, and then one will lose to the other. I just don't see a situation where it's not them, right? I don't, and I like them. I do, and I don't even think their teams are bad. I just think that's where we are. I have to call a spade a spade. So boom. It's not. I'm not being a fascist misogynist. Whatever that means, if anyone actually ever uses those words. I was just being like a Democrat. What do you want me? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? More than likely, with their schedule and them playing each other, it's impossible for both of them to win out because they play one another, and it's probably impossible for both of them not to lose up until then because they play they both play top 4 seeds, and then they play each other. So, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, law of averages. Space Cadet number 1, we salute you, Scoggins. Space Cadet number 2, we salute you, Calder. Safe travels. Space Cadet number 3. Let me look. I don't want to make any haste decisions. Nobody don't make haste decisions. All right. Skeets week 12. Okay, I forgot about this. So boom. We are going to probably have a good idea of our third Space Cadet Sunday night. We'll probably have a really good idea of it. Skeet and Cheese play each other. So presumably, let's say Cheese has a lot of buys coming up. I think Skeet wins, and I think Skeet has the better roster. So presumably Skeet wins, right? So Skeet wins, becomes 5-7. Cheese is 4-8. We salute you, soldier. Have fun in space. One spot left. So, realistically, we're talking about Evan. Skeet would have just beat Cheese in that situation, right? So then he would be 5-7. Evan plays Alex. That's a tough ask, Alex does have Breece Hall on a bye. And I don't know if anybody else. I can probably peek the roster real quick. Okay, I can't right now because I'll probably have a wreck. But I know Alex has Breece Hall, and he just got AJ Brown down. Dallas has already had a bye. Barkley's had a bye. Burrow's out. Okay, so Burrow is out. Burrow has been a large portion of Alex's points. They're a horrible team, but that I love that type of situation. Really bad defenses with decent quarterback play equals fantasy gold, right? Enter Jameis Winston. He's awful, right? He's not a good quarterback. No one's saying he is. But guess what? The Browns themselves are awful, and they live in garbage time. Boom, bingo, bada bing. That's what happens. That's why he dropped a 25 piece on Skeet's dome, steady face, no Diddy, right? So, if I'm a gambling man, I'd still say it's tough, man. I'd say Alex probably wins, but it's tough. It's tough. It's a toss up. But let's say Evan wins. Let's say Evan loses. You have 5-7 and 5-7. Skeet and Evan battling for that last spot. And if Clave loses to me, you've got a 6-6, which then you have one more person into the fold, right? So, like I said, I think the two Scogginses and Cheese, I think they're set for Blastoff. Very possible Cheese beats Skeet, and I have to recant everything I'm saying and ask my Space Cadet Skeet to fly away, right? But as it stands right now, it's kind of hard to say that that's the case. But then you have Skeet playing me, and then the next week Cheese has Gary. I don't know if Cheese wins another game, to be honest, and I'm being dead serious. It's not being disrespectful. Well, it is sort of, but I mean he plays Skeet, Gary, Matt. It's not ideal at all. But he had it coming. But yeah. Ew, man. And then so week 14, Skeet has Skeet and Evan. It's another one. I mean, Skeet and Evan could quite literally be playing for the spot if it plays out. But what do you want me to say? But overall, I think y'all know kind of how this shakes out. I just wanted to give a little playoff primer. I wanted to give a little idea of what I think might happen. Good grief. Let me let you see this right here. Holy fish paste. It's a gun. Watch where you're going. Oh, a Corvette. What do you know? I'm rich. I don't need to follow the rules. That's it. Boys, y'all know what time it is. Trash bag Audi. Like I always say, I appreciate your guys' candor. The trade deadline, chef's kiss. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nothing makes me happier. And trash bag out. We got 3 weeks left. Who's going to prevail? We got the Zacks. We got the Cheese. Probably our 3 Space Cadets. We got people battling for the buys. What are we going to do? Trash bag out. We'll holler at you next week. Peace.